Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on when you're watching this video. In this video, we are going to go through 4 examples of finding t-values using the student t-table. So as we would have seen and discussed in class, the student t-table is actually quite a bit easier to work with than the standard normal table. It gives you 2 quantities, which are the area to the right of the t-value that you want and the associated degrees of freedom. For the examples that we are currently working with, so situations where we are working with one sample mean, the degree of freedom is simply n minus 1. All right. So the first 2 examples are direct lookup procedures. So these would be one-step problems. You go from what's given in the t-value to the table. All right, now for clarity, I'll just do a little bit of sketching here. So this is an example of what a student t curve might look like. Just like a standard normal curve, it's a symmetric bell curve centered at 0. So our sketches don't have to be super precise. We just want to illustrate a symmetric bell curve centered at 0. But this is now a t value or t curve or a student t curve. Here we have 0.025, comma 15. Okay, so that just means that this red shaded part here is a size 0.025. Okay, so therefore t 0.025, comma 15. Okay, these 3 dots here, this means therefore. Okay, so if we go to the student t table, we're just matching 0.025 to its degree of freedom, which is 15. And that's all there is to it. So the t value that we are looking for is 2.131. Okay, question 2. This is really the exact same thing. Okay, so if we were to sketch the curve, we would have essentially the exact same sketch, except that now the area to the right is going to be a bit smaller. So I could actually just pirate this sketch here. Okay. So this is now 0.05, comma 12 instead of 0.025. Okay, and this area here is just 0.05. But we don't even really need to sketch for these initial problems because we're given the values directly. It's really just a game of matching. So now we have 0.05, comma 12. So we go to our t table. We're matching 0.05 to 12, and that gives us 1.782. Part 3 says, what student t random variable has 0.05 of the area under the curve to its right when n equals 12? Okay, this is a little bit different. We're not being given the setup or the final t value exactly. We're actually kind of forced to sketch it in this case. So basically what this is saying to us is that we have a t value here, and to the right of the t value is 0.05. Okay, so this thing here is a size 0.05. So that means that the subscript on the t value is also 0.05. Okay, now we're also told for this problem that n is equal to 12. Okay, so recall that the degree of freedom is equal to n minus 1. So that means that our degrees of freedom is 12 minus 1, which is 11. So this is a t value on 0.05 and 11, not 0.05 and 12, because the degree of freedom is always sample size minus 1. Okay, so therefore t 0.0511, if we just go back to our t table here, so you can see actually from the previous example, we're just moving up 1 slot. So now we can show that t 0.0511 is 1.796. All right, and then in the last illustration, it says, What student t random variable has 0.9 of the area under the curve to its left when the degree of freedom is 12? Okay, so we start by sketching out the curve. This is 0. Okay, so here's our t value. What the problem is saying to us is that to the left of the t value is 0.9, which means that to the right of the t value, we have a size 0.1. So this is a t on 0.10, and they told us in the problem the degree of freedom is 12. Okay, so therefore t 0.1012 is equal to this value here. So we've just shifted again slightly. So now we have a t value of 1.356. Okay, so those are 4 examples of looking up a t value in the student t table. There's really not much to it. In general, we just match the area to the right of the value to the degree of freedom. And this is the same process that we're going to be using when we start constructing confidence intervals that use t values. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.